Captain Farni and Harvard head coach Katey Stone. I'd like to open it up first to Coach Stone for some post-game comments.
Well, obviously we're disappointed with the end result of tonight's game, but certainly not disappointed with the effort of our players. We got ourselves in a little bit of a hole and tried to dig ourselves out, and I think it was one of the hardest fought from start to finish games that we've played all season, and they capitalized on some of our mistakes, and they're a good hockey team. But again, I guess I go back to the things that it got to a point where it was all about our effort and our execution, and trying to stay together, trying to keep going as a team under some pretty adverse circumstances. So, I'm very proud of our players. We could have wilted away there early in the second period, and we didn't. So there's a lot to be proud of and a lot to build on.
Open up for questions.
You guys obviously forecheck very well and have a lot of control on their end. Does that open you up sometimes for some of the out-man rushes to go the other way when it turns over?
Sure, it does. They've got a lot of skilled players, and they find the openings. And we really like how we forecheck tonight. It's a couple bounces here, few misreads and plays on the body, that kind of thing. But ultimately, our kids played hard. They kept going, and and their goaltender. I have to say, their goaltender. When we put a lot of pressure on their goaltender, she did a really good job. And so, she put the rebounds into the corners, and when she left something there, they did a good job of keeping us from getting in. So, I give Cornell credit. They did a great job, and I would have liked to have been a little bit more stingy than we were with the puck at times, but that happens sometimes.
Coach, obviously this has been a pretty successful Cornell team this season. Can you talk about, just in seeing them 3 times this year, maybe what you see as kind of the difference compared to years past, and I guess maybe how they matched up well against you guys?
Well, they're getting better. They've spent a lot of time recruiting, and they're getting better. And they've got big, strong kids, and they make plays. And we've had, I think, 3 very spirited matchups with them. And it's kind of like it was Dartmouth and Harvard for many, many years, and now it seems as though it might be Cornell and Harvard for a little while. You never know, and whoever it's going to be. They've done a good job of building their program, and they're going to have a lot of success, I'm sure. And so are we, because we're not going to stop recruiting and getting great players.
Coach, on a similar note, I know it's tough to consider at this point in the night and in the season, but do you think that ultimately Cornell's rise and the parity this year will be good for the league and good for Harvard as well?
I think so. Anytime an Ivy League team can go to the Frozen Four, it's a great thing. Unfortunately, it's not Harvard. We'd like to go. But again, we feel as though the ECAC is very strong. The Ivy League is very strong. And anytime you can keep putting great teams in the NCAA Tournament, it means that we're doing the right thing. And I think that women's hockey is at a point still where education is paramount to these young athletes, and so the Ivy League education is something that hopefully all these strong hockey players are going to aspire to. And it's not just about a 4-year scholarship. We're talking about the rest of your life. And so we're hoping that kids will continue to put a value on education and look to the Ivy League.
This is directed at Randi and Kathryn. I noticed after the first goal, you guys, it looked like it energized the team a lot. I was wondering if you could talk about sort of getting that energy and getting that goal and what it meant for you guys.
You mean the first goal we scored?
Yeah, the first goal you guys scored.
Yeah, unfortunately, like Coach said, we kind of dug ourselves into a hole, and I think our attitude throughout the game was just to keep playing, keep putting shots on net, keep trying to get chances. So at that point, we were on the power play, and to try and step up our game, and we're on the power play for those 2 minutes and capitalize on a chance definitely picks up your spirits a little bit. I thought we played really hard. We took a lot of great shots, and to be rewarded for that for at least a couple goals this evening felt awesome. So it's definitely one of those things where it gives the rest of the team a lot of energy.
I have a question kind of directed at any of you who feels like you have the best answer. Is Cornell a national championship caliber team? You've seen a lot of good opponents this year, and especially over the last couple of years.
I think it's a very difficult thing to answer because they certainly have as much of an opportunity as anyone who ends up in Minneapolis next weekend, because what happens, you got to have great goaltending. We've got a hot goaltender right now. You've got to have some luck, and you've got to stay pretty healthy. So, whatever 4 teams get to Minneapolis, I think it's a crapshoot as far as who's going to win. And they have as good a chance of anybody as winning. Again, in matchups, who knows what's going to happen. But again, they've got the pieces of the puzzle. It's a matter of putting them together on the days you need to.
So I guess it might be hard to think about now, but over the course of the season, it seems like you guys have dealt with a lot of question marks, like coming in with a lot of freshmen and then losing Christina Kessler. It seems like you guys have answered a lot of them. So any thoughts on the season overall?
I guess, right from the beginning of the season we had some injuries. Like you said, we had a young team. But, it happens to every team out there. There's a lot of teams who have injured players, a lot of teams who have injured goalies for one game or for half a season. So, we just have to play the best that we can with the cards that we're dealt. So, I think that's what we tried to do. Definitely there were points in the season where we struggled a little bit with the adversity that we had, but I think we tried our best to kind of regroup and make sure that we were focused on what happened on the ice and what was under our control.
Absolutely. Again, today's game is somewhat similar to the entire season. We could have faded away. A lot of different things happened, but it's a testament to the leadership of the seniors and all the kids stepping up and following them to get the job done. Because yes, we had a young team, but we didn't play young. Very, very rarely did we play young, and we were banged up at times, but we didn't play banged up. And we were in holes before, and we didn't play like we were in holes. So again, I think tonight the way our kids responded, regardless of what the score was, is exactly what we try to build this program on.
Any other questions? Okay.
Thank you very much.